You know when you're in love with somebody, you rarely see them at work. You rarely see them doing the thing that they do and you can't. It's extremely attractive. Go follow your partner someday to work. If they're having an affair, it'll be a hideous conclusion. But just watch them doing the thing. It's really cool because you can't do it, they can. You go, I fucking love, you're fantastic, you're glorious. Particularly when they're saving a life. Jesus, glorious. You're there going, oh, you're beautiful, I love you, and you're making me look good right now. Yeah, she's my girlfriend. Look at her, she's glorious. She's saving her life. Trophy bird, right? I had to be peeled off the doctor the day of the mini stroke. Seriously, she was underneath me going, that's very flattering, but could I deal with the situation first, right? And I was behind her going, no, she'll be unconscious for a while, yes. Apologise, she's actually in the room tonight. Sorry about that. But it is nothing more attractive than seeing the person. I mean, the doctor here, have you a partner there with you? Have you a boyfriend or husband with you?
Yeah, he's a teacher.
He's a teacher, so he's not in the medical trade. My teacher friend, isn't it sexy? Have you seen her ever deal with an emergency, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet, he said loudly. Get her to run over one of these feckers on the way home tonight. Dude, it's extremely attractive, but the one bad thing is you're very clannish people, the doctors. They have a tendency to hang around together in little groups, right? Okay. My teacher friend, do you have to go to loads of social events where it's just you and doctor? Does that happen to you, my friend, does it?
I hate it.
Yeah, I know, it's a nightmare. I hate it, he said. I am articulating your pain, my friend. He hates it, ladies and gentlemen, because there's times I've been at dinner parties and it's doctor, and I'm the only feckin' muggles in the room, right? And they don't know half as much as you give them credit for. My friend, if you're ever at another dinner party and it's all doctors, feck with their heads. It's remarkably easy to do. If you're ever out with a load of doctors and they're going, well, today I performed a fucking duckendectomy. You just go, yeah, but what are hiccups? Exactly. There's many competing theories at the moment. And then you go, why, if you stay in bed longer, do you feel more tired? It's not my speciality, that particular field. Does time heal all wounds? Who the fuck invited you to this dinner party anyway? What are the Oil of Olay 7 signs of aging? No one actually knows what the Oil of Olay 7 signs of aging are, right? Apparently they start with little lines around the eyes and finish with a woman sitting on a stairs with a bottle of gin going, I gave him the best years of my life! And it takes a feckin' hell of a cream to get rid of that, let me tell you. Doctor, one final question. Doctor at the back there, my surgeon friend, liver and pancreas, answer me this. What are hiccups exactly?
Diaphragmatic irritation.
A diaphragmatic irritation. Good woman yourself. Very good. Let the punters at home note, she said, diaphragmatic irritation, which is right. I also would have accepted any arrhythmic irritation of the phrenic nerve. Please. I'm not a doctor. I'm just riding one. Okay.
Do I get to travel with this job a lot, which I enjoy? I get recognised as well, which is a strange experience. It's not always from being on TV. Sometimes you just get recognised the next day if you've done a gig somewhere. Like I had this recently. I was up north and I'd been doing some gigs. The next day, I was just in the hotel having my breakfast. And there was a couple in the corner, and I could see they kept looking at me. This couple must have been sort of in their 50s. And they kept looking over at me, and I was just having my breakfast. And as they got up to leave, they came past my table, and they stopped. And the lady said, can we just say, she went, you were amazing last night. I said, oh, wow, thank you so much. She was like, honestly, our cheeks are still hurting. I was like, wow, thank you. And her husband was like, we just love finding new people. I was like, wow, thank you so much. And they walked away, and a few people turned to look at me, and I thought, oh, they're probably quite disappointed. They don't recognise me. They don't know who I am. And then I thought, no, that's not it at all, is it? It's because at no point during that interaction did anybody mention that I was a comedian. So all that happened was this couple approached me over a hotel breakfast and said, you were amazing last night. Our cheeks are still hurting. We love finding new people. But of course, the issue is there. That the people there, of course, you can't tell from looking at me like I'm a comedian, because you can't just judge someone just by looking at them, can you? I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. But you can sometimes, can't you? You know, like, for example, if you see a man over 55 with a ponytail, you can make assumptions, can't you? Like, he's either a magician or he knows karate. You know one thing for sure, he's definitely divorced. Like, you shouldn't, but you can, is my point. But of course, ultimately, you can't, and you can't judge someone just by looking at them. Like, you wouldn't know, for example, you wouldn't know from looking at me that I've got epilepsy, would you? Because I haven't. No, I do, don't worry, it's fine, it's good news, I've got it. In fact, fun fact for you, I had my first ever seizure during National Epileptic Week. Which was fitting. I'll tell you about the first seizure I ever had. Is that okay to do? Is that all right? Thank you. I know sometimes people get a bit funny if people start talking about health conditions. I know some people don't like to talk about their own health conditions. Like, I've got a friend called Paul. He's got psoriasis, doesn't like to talk about it at all, and I'd rather just sweep under the carpet. So people are listening to this. Some big fans of psoriasis stuff down here. There's more if you want it. Just scratching the surface. But no, we'll move on. It's one condition at a time. Yeah, sorry. The first seizure I ever had, it was my first year at university. I was in Topshop trying on a pair of jeans in Topshop. I had no idea that I had epilepsy. I just went in there to try on these jeans, fell to the floor, I had a seizure. I woke up, still in Topshop. I had no idea what was going on. I just woke up. There was this bright light and 3 women looking over me. I thought I was in heaven. And then one of them just went, "Excuse me." She went, "Do you know what day it is?" Now, I didn't know that was a thing. And I remember just thinking, can you not ask someone else? So to me, this woman had just walked into Topshop and just gone, "What day is it?" Oh, that's that guy there on the floor. The one who's bleeding from the mouth and appears to have wet himself in a pair of jeans that he'll be forced to pay for. Which is unacceptable. I was glad when they went under.
Do you know, my favourite food is canapés. Oh, I love canapés. Canapés is the French word for hors d'oeuvres. Love canapés. But the only problem with canapés is you only get them at parties, right? And they're almost counterproductive to the party atmosphere. Because the whole idea of a party is you're supposed to be mingling and meeting people. Hello, how are you? But you can't concentrate if there's canapés in the room. Those silver trays of treats being taken around. I mean, you're in a conversation because you have to be. Oh, yes, that's interesting. Oh, he's 5 now, is he? That's fascinating. Hey. Oh, they're new. Huh, sorry? Because you've always got to keep one eye on the canapés, haven't you? Because you don't want to miss your turn. Oh, that's a horrible feeling when you're talking to some prick about schools. Yeah, public or private, that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, shut up! That's the mini beef Wellingtons. We've just... Because you bloody... Shut up when the canapés arrive, you prick. They're the best ones. Mini beef Wellingtons. Just shut up when the canapés arrive. It's the only reason we're here. I don't give a shit what school your kid goes to. Some mini beef Wellingtons. Gone. Because you can't chase a canapé. Can't do that undignified walk, you know, that's... Sorry, he was talking, so I missed... Can I just get the... Can I just get the... The other thing with canapes is, and you know this, you've always got to act surprised when they come. Don't you? You have to do, oh, I didn't, oh. Because that's the rules. You can't wait for canapes. You can't just stand there at a party like that. You can't. Yeah, good, honey, go on. You've got to pretend to be in a conversation. And yes, that's very... Oh, she's 11 now. Well, that is... Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know there was going to be food. Did you know there was going to be food? I had no idea there's food. Look at that. That's great, isn't it? Food. Oh, what a lovely surprise. You're not surprised. You've been tracking the bloody thing for 20 minutes. You know every stop it's made. You know how many have been taken. You've been making the mental calculations in your head, right? Oh, that's right. Okay, we should be all right with the sausage rolls. They've just come out. I'm not so sure about the vol au vents and the quiche. This guy's been really greedy, this guy. Stop. Honestly, I bet he better not eat too many of those quiche. And then we've obviously missed the mini beef Wellingtons because you knew. But we're going to be all right with the ham and the cheese, and here they come now. So anyway, school. Oh! I didn't know there was going to be food.
I'm the sort of person who'll spend their wages like their winnings. You know what I mean? Get all excited. I just get so excited. First half of the month, I'm getting my nails done, champagne brunches, buying a second-hand jet ski I found online. But I forget about the second half of the month. We all do, don't we? And it's bleak, innit? Isn't it bleak? Just indoors, watching telly, eating beans. On a jet ski. It's... Embarrass myself, I do. I love it. I love shopping. I love it. People save money a lot. They're not me. I love shopping. It's the pop-up ads. They know me. They know me. I don't even resent it. Oversized smock midi dress with pockets. Yes, please. I'll have another one of them. Thank you, algorithms. Love it. Thank you. Because they're all watching us, innit? They're all watching what we're doing, listening to what we're doing. People don't like it. I don't mind it. I use it to my advantage. I'm like, I need a shed at the minute. I'm like 6x4, pre-treated timber. Works every time. But people get paranoid. Don't ever like to get paranoid. Like my mum, paranoid. My mum is paranoid. She won't have a smartphone, not a computer in her house, nothing. She's like, they're watching. I said, it don't matter, does it, Mum? I said, it don't matter if you ain't got anything to hide. Do you know what my 73-year-old mother said to that? I have. I thought, slow down, top girl, say nothing. Nutter. She's right, of course she's right. You had to do what you had to do to get through lockdown, that's what I say. Do you know what I mean? People were stockpiling. I've got 3 kids. There was no such thing as stockpiling with 3 kids, let me tell you that. Every other day I was going out for more Jack Daniels. I don't know. It's got to be done, though, innit? I just know what it is. Now we've all got all our freedoms, I'm worried about myself because I feel like nothing's actually as fun as you think it's going to be. Maybe it's me. There's a lot of stuff I don't get, like Brighton and tapas. Maybe it is me. But I feel like other people are pretending to have fun. Do you know what I mean? Spa days. Do you like spa day? I don't think you do. Brunches. Girls, how have we signed up to 50 quid brunches? How has that become a thing, a standard? When did that happen? Not even birthdays. It's mad. I'd rather get drunk with my own scrambled eggs. Do you know what I mean? Holidays? You bothered about a holiday? No, I'm not. Again, I think you like the idea of a holiday. Do you know what I mean? I like looking for them, booking them, actually doing them. Hard work, I think. It's true though, isn't it? Do you know what? I think I would genuinely rather be hospitalised. Can you imagine? Food, drink, drugs brought straight to your bed. That costs hundreds in our beef, hundreds. I'd start clapping for the NHS again. I would. I love it. Oi, this is nice, isn't it? Yes. Is anyone here in their 40s? Is it? You're not in your 40s? Have you guys started walking like this yet? It happens like clockwork, you know? It's mad. Like, I'll be walking around the co-op like I'm in an art gallery, just... Reduced by how much? Not enough. That, and I've got a boner for linen. Ooh. In it. I literally go out shopping for fabric and I'm like, give me a fabric that will crease really easily. Yes. I want to iron it for at least an hour. That's for me. That and candles. Woo! Now listen, I used to party hard. And I found that burning your money via candles is a great replacement. When I say I like candles, yeah, I'm going diptyque, baby. Thank you. I'm going Joe Malone. Fig for me. Which also, like, I'm from a council estate. What does fig really smell like? Does anyone... I'm just going on what Joe Malone told me, you know what I mean? I'm like, these candles are expensive. I reckon for a £5, I could probably buy 50 figs, chuck it in the oven and just waft it around the house a few times. The dream is, yeah, I want enough money that I can light a Joe Malone candle when it's just me in the house. Come with me, people. Can you imagine coming home to your yard, it's just you in, and you're like, you know what? Fig for me. As it is, if you was over my house and I had a candle on the go, no lie, after about 20 minutes, I'd start thinking that's about £17 worth of scent now. What kind of friend is he anyway? Is that enough? I realise there's nothing more insulting than someone lighting your scented candles when you're not there to enjoy the scent. Innit? I had my brother house sitting for me, right? I was away for a couple of weeks. I walked back into the house. As soon as I opened up the door, I was like... I walked into the front room. This guy is reclining on my sofa, lighting his spliff with my Joe Malone candle. The ash was falling into the wax. I was like, you all right? Yeah, you good? Now, we know as British people, when our voices go high like that, we mean the opposite, right? The higher our voices go, the less we're about it. You know what I mean? If someone's like, you coming to a party? You're like, yeah! What that means is, I'm not coming to your party, mate. So I said, you all right? What you doing? He's like, oh, it's just a bit of mood lighting, innit? So, IKEA tea light is mood lighting. That's not even it. It was a 3-wick candle. Only 1 wick was lit. Thank you.
I started learning French really young at the age of 8 or something in primary school, and our French teacher, to help it sink in our brains, used to play little games with us. And one of the games was that we had to draw a name out of the hat, and that would be our French name for the rest of term, yeah? So I withdrew Marcel, and she taught me that if anyone ever asked the question, comment tu t'appelles, my response should be, je m'appelle Marcel, right? Now, I got all the way to degree level and 2 trips to Paris with that knowledge, and no one ever corrected me. And I went in on my first day of the lecture, and the professor goes, bonjour, comment tu t'appelles? I thought, well, this is going to be a very easy course. I went, bonjour, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? I was like, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, what is wrong with you? You said you were French. I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? What is your name? I was like, je m'appelle Marcel. My name is Stephen. educated. And as part of our course, yeah, we had to do a year abroad. Hold on. Gap year. We did, Jimmy. We had to do a year abroad, right? So I moved to the south of France for a year, and I'm dating myself with this reference, I do know. But I thought it would be like a Hilary Duff film, right? Do you know where I'd like move to the south of France, get a job in a little boulangerie, fall in love, move into the guy's chateau, and never have to come and perform in Hammersmith? Do you know what I mean? And me and my friends all had a bit of a dream. Like my friend Kate, she's married to a guy now called Florent and lives in Nice. That was my dream, bitch. My friend Sam got with a guy while we were there, and his name was Nicolas. And I even got with a guy while we were there for one term, and his name was Kevin. It wasn't even Kevin. I went all the way to the south of France and found the only guy from Stockport. Just called me Sally Webster. And the thing I hated the most about doing that year abroad was I don't like flying. Howie, give me a cheer if you like flying. Give me a cheer if you don't like it. Yeah, all the ones sat in the sky. I really hate it, yeah, because everyone's like it's the safest form of transport, but that's not true, is it? Because speak to someone that's been in a crash. And that is valid. That is really valid. And I've had to find my way of getting round it. You need hints, tricks, don't you? So my therapist said you just need to sit on the plane doing this. I get thrown off the plane if I do that, Julie. The way I've been trying to get round it, hear me out, you're going to think I'm mad, right? Do you know sometimes when you look at someone and you think, like Aaron, I look at you and I go, you would never die in a plane crash. You've got that kind of face, you know, it's like, you're not going to go that way. Whereas some people, they've got that face where it's like, have you already been in one? And I flew to Dublin this year, and it was the best flight I'd ever had, right? Because I found someone like you, Aaron. I found someone. Peter Barlow from Coronation Street was on the flight, and I thought, Peter Barlow's not going to die in a Ryanair flight. He's already been through too much.
I'll say a bit more about myself. I'm from the north of England. I had a very strange upbringing. My dad, he was very old-fashioned. When my sister had her menstrual cycle, he made her go and live in the shed, claiming that she was the evil seed of Satan. It's a little bit old-fashioned, isn't it? It's very sad. My sister died very young. She drowned. But, you know, like my dad said, look on the bright side. If she'd have floated, it would have had to set fire to her anyway, so... She was, My nan was great, though. She was great, my nan. I remember the last thing she said to me just before she died. She said, "What are you doing in here with that hammer?" Do you ever do that thing when you're a kid where you try and slip in swear words in front of your nan to try and impress your mate? How many swear words can we fit in without nan not noticing? I'll go first. Anyone for coffee, nan? Anyone for coffee? Is it half a cup? Fuck up! Fuck up, is it? What time is it? Tampax 2. Tampax 2? Do you expect me to believe that? It's jolly well possible. Anyone for coffee? The last time we tried it, we were in a Chinese restaurant. We went, "Oh, Nan, there's no fork and knife. What are we going to do? There's no fork and knife, Nan. There's no fork and knife. What are we going to do, Nan?" She went, "I don't know. I'll probably try and have to use the fork and chopsticks, you patronising pair of little..." That's her attitude. If you can't beat them, what's the point in having kids? I'm obsessed with swearing, though, because this is great, because this show's going out after 9:30. Well, it is now, but this show's going out after 9:30, right? How did I know it was CBeebies? No, it's going on after 9:30, and I love the fact that... I don't know why, but you can't swear on telly before 9:30, but you can after 9:30. I think the BBC, as a nation, just think we're all just sat round going, "Oh, Marjorie, would you possibly pass me the bread sauce? This fish is simply divine." "Why, certainly, Kenneth. It really is a tasty salmon." "Tell me, my darling, are you aware of the time?" "Why, allow me to check on my small pocket antique silver wristwatch, left for me by Grandpapa all of these years ago in his will." "Why, I believe it has just gone the hour of 1930? Thank fuck for that! Let's get and shit on the Christmas tree, you dirty bitch! Like I say, I'm from Lancashire, and I haven't got a proper Lancashire accent anymore. That went a few years ago, I'm afraid, because proper Lancashire, of course, is surprised to hell about everything all the time. And real issues in a shoe shop, couldn't believe it, it were great. Opened a tin of peas, looked inside, there were peas, it were great. My favourite accent at the moment is the South African accent. I love the fact that the South African accent is just... You know when you used to record records in the 70s backwards, and then when you played them backwards, they sounded forwards? That's what South African is, isn't it? It's just the record player backwards. Hello, my name's Lee and I'm from England. Oh, my name's Dave and I came from South Africa. I don't like living in London. It's too expensive. It's too expensive and I don't like it. Kill your parents, kill them, Beelzebub, kill your parents. Whereas the Australians, they just sound like a record that won't start properly. Where are you from, mate? Oh, I'm from Melbourne, mate. How long have you lived there? Been 14 fucking years, mate. Fucking love it, mate.
I'm going to explain the concept and naked attraction to you, and you're going to think to yourself, Suze, previous to your gig tonight, did you nip outside and smoke some crack? Because that's how mental it is. Right, Emma, a girl walks out on stage, she's like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. And the host goes, brilliant, we've got 6 naked men in tubes behind. Then the host says to the girl, what are you looking for? And the girl will always do the same thing. She'll go, oh my God, you've really put me on the spot. And you think, no, you chose to come on this show, moron. She goes, well, I guess I'm looking for a boyfriend, but also a friend. I really like going to European city breaks, maybe someone that likes travel. And I really like music gigs as well, so maybe someone that likes music. And I guess if I'm being really honest, what I'm looking for is love. And the host goes, brilliant, let's see if you can find love by judging dongs. Okay? 6 naked men in tubes! Okay? Now, Emma, there's a screen in front of all of them. Every round, the screen goes up a little bit more to show a little bit more of the naked body. Every round, one man gets eliminated until the end. She's got a couple of nudie fellas to choose from. Okay? Now, Emma, first round, screen just goes up to their knees. There's always one bloke who's got really rough feet. Really rough. Like he was an extra in The Hobbit. And he just never took the feet off afterwards, right? Now, she clearly looked at them feet and thought, well, them trotters ain't coming home with me, right? And you think, well, that's the end for him. Not the end. They don't shoot him. You think it's the end of the show for him, but it's not. It's not the end of the show, because he then has the indignity of the screen going the whole way up. So you see his penis and his face. Then he has the most awkward moment in television where he steps out of his tube, walks over to her and gives her the most uncomfortable hug you have ever seen. Well, you can tell all he is thinking is, don't touch the lady with your dick. Whatever you do, don't touch the stranger with your dick. And then his sad little ass walks off stage. Now... the next round, the screen comes up to the waist. And let's be honest, it is the round we are all watching for. It's cock-a-clock. Now, it's not going to come as a surprise to any of you. There's a lot of people in this evening. I'll bet it doesn't come as a surprise to one person in this room. I ain't seen many willies. I ain't seen many of them. I ain't seen many willies. I'm not a connoisseur when it comes to willies. I was straight for a month when I was 18. I don't have the wrists, okay? But even to me, even to the untrained eye, there was one that I was like, oh, there's something up with him. There was something just not quite right about it. They're not meant to have a corner, are they? Halfway through, it had like a proper corner. Now, she clearly looked at that one and went, ooh. She can't do that, can she? She's got to go work on Monday. She don't look a bitch on TV. So instead, she had to do a little lie. Emma, see if you can see where she went wrong. She went, I'm going to have to get rid of number 4. Kind of weird dick. I'm going to have to get rid of number 4 because the way that he's standing, he doesn't really look like a very confident guy. And I'm only really attracted to really confident guys. And I thought, he has his penis out on television. How much more confident would you like this twat to be?
My wife, she does this thing, right? If you get her in an airport, I'm not allowed to have my own passport. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm a 40-year-old man. I get to passport control. They say, you got your passport, mate? I'm like, no. I'm not allowed to carry it. Apparently, I'm not mature enough. I don't know what happens, man. The moment you get her near an airport, she becomes like some sort of Russian people trafficker. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I must have all the passports. You cannot handle passport. You are too stupid for passport. I must keep all passports in zippy clear travel document folder, huh? Alongside printout from TripAdvisor. But you may carry the bags. I'm like a peasant boy for the day. Oh, thank you, master. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a real honor for me to carry your bags, you know. 11 pair of shoes for 3-day mini break is a good idea, huh? Yes. Maybe you will become a centipede while we are in Egypt. Who knows? I went to a stag do recently. I went to the Munich Beer Festival. Has anybody here been to the Munich Beer Fest? Seemingly everybody. How many days did you go for, mate? No days. Got deported on arrival. We went for 7 days. We got there on a Monday, right? We had 6 straight days drinking, Monday through Saturday. And on the Sunday, we said, we've got to do something different, right? So we went to Dachau concentration camp. Yeah. It was a weird shout. There's no getting away from it. Could have gone go-karting. I said, no, let's do some World War II here. It took a long time to get there, and when we got there, it was shut. Now, yeah, it felt inconvenient. However, given the wider backdrop of historical suffering, I didn't necessarily think that my inconvenience was that big a deal, right? So I just thought I'll take it on the chin. But we had a mate of us called Tim, and Tim started popping off at the German security guard. He said, mate, it's a Sunday, yeah? It's a big tourist day. It's outrageous that it's shut. I said, to be fair, it's outrageous that it was ever open, you know what I mean? It's like, it is weird that you're making this about you, Tim, to be honest. People say dumb things, though, don't they? I was having a beer with my mate Wayne the other day, and Wayne likes to tell you where he was on the occasion of big historical news events that happened within our lifetime, right? So I mentioned 9/11, and Wayne went, 9/11, remember where I was that day? I was like, don't care where you were. I don't see how it's relevant. I don't see how your whereabouts on that fateful, terrible day will form some sort of meaningful historical footnote, Wayne. I'm being honest here. He looked hurt. He went, all right, where were you? He went, karate. I went, see, that's exactly the sort of trivial shit I was worried about, Wayne. He said, well, you know, I was in New York 6 months before that. Makes you think, doesn't it? I was like, no. No, to be honest, all it makes me think is I wish you'd been there 6 months later. Sorry.
I have a theory that masturbation is a kind of summoning spell for your own rational mind. Because we're all so driven by hormones and by desire. Sometimes you've got to have a wank to speak to your real self. You have a wank, you go, oh, I should have shagged my ex one last time. I'll text her, I'll meet her, I'll shag her. And then you come and a little voice comes on in your head that goes, yeah, don't do that, mate. You've got to be careful with jokes, haven't you? Because not everybody's got a sense of humour. I can remember when I first realised not everybody's got a sense of humour. I was 13, I was at school, and we were doing a class on stereotypes. The teacher was a really good guy. He's just talking about how stupid stereotypes are. And he was talking about a stereotype that day that's so old-fashioned and so Scottish that you definitely won't have heard it. Have you ever heard the stereotype that deaf people are really strong? That was a genuine thing when I was growing up. Deaf people, particularly deaf and dumb people, were believed to be really strong. And the teacher said, think how stupid that is. Have you ever seen a deaf contender for the heavyweight championship of the world? And me, aged 13, I put my hand up and I went, there was one, sir, but he was disqualified for punching after the bell. And nobody laughed. And I knew right then that life was going to feel pretty long. You've got to have a bit of leeway with jokes, haven't you? I can't write jokes for the average person, can I? The average person is Chinese. So I'm from Glasgow, a city where people think that hepatitis B is a fucking vitamin. To explain Glasgow's attitude to you, this happened to me recently. I was having a wee snooze in a park, because my career's been going really well lately. I was having a wee doze under a tree, and a guy came up to me and he went, "Do you know your problem? You're fucking unapproachable." Glasgow's like an entirely negative city. I went to a coffee shop one time. Two middle-aged women sat across from me, and they started to moan as they sat down about how long they thought the coffee was going to take. So nothing had happened, and they were both angry. And coffee turned up, and the first one takes a sip and goes, "That's not very good, is it?" And the second one takes a sip of hers and goes, "I don't even like coffee." I think English people don't really understand Scottish attitudes. You think that we all just want to see the English football team get beaten. But actually, a lot of us would much rather see the team plane crash into an oil refinery. I enjoyed reading about Sam Allardyce. I didn't realise English football had a corruption problem. I thought the only problems in English football were racism, sexism, homophobia, match-fixing, gambling, sexual assaults and the failure to perform at major tournaments.
I was in America. I done a gig in America, in New York, and after the gig, a guy said to me, hey, buddy, are you actually Scottish? And I said, yes. And he said, man, your English is really good. I got these discs. Best I've got una mesa para quattro, por favor. I've got tourist stuff. Kind of nailed tourist stuff you eat on holiday. Like, that means a table for four, please. She says, show knowledge. Because I know that when me and three associates, when we walk in to a restaurant in Spain, I can tell the head waiter is looking at us and thinking, well, I wonder what these guys want. Fortunately, I'm on hand to defuse the situation. I have been thoroughly briefed. I step forward and say, una mesa para cuatro, por favor. And we get sat at the table for four. Guy brings the menus in Spanish, and I crumble. Everybody else is losing their minds, going, what the f... What's a hamburgeresa? If you go a proper holiday, next time, go to a karaoke bar. This was my holiday highlight. Sit and patiently wait until a Scouser comes on the stage. That's a universal must-see. Somebody from Liverpool on the mic in a karaoke bar. Some of the finest performers. Alejandro! Baby, you're a firework! The whole pub's heading for the car park, thinking the fire alarm's going off. What's your name? Guy in the green t-shirt.
Scott.
Scott. What kind of music do you like, Scott?
Top 40.
Top 40. Like chart music. Modern music just sounds the same to me. Makes me feel thick. No modern chart music. In the club, in the club, in the club. That's the way every song sounds to me these days. Everybody gonna shuffle on down tonight. We're in the club. 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 Get freaky. You feel it deleting cookies in your brain, the song. Just in the club, in the club, in the club. Everybody in the club. We ain't gonna stop until it's time to start again. In the club. In the club, in the club. And the song finishes and you think, wow, I now know less stuff.
I was on holiday recently. I was on an all-inclusive. We all love an all-inclusive holiday, don't we? Oh, aye. Chips and gateau for breakfast. Yes. I always think it's amazing. I can always identify where people are from on an all-inclusive holiday. It's fascinating for me. Like the Italians. You can always tell the Italians because they could put on a bag of rags and look amazing. Then you can see the Germans, and they're quiet, and they're reserved. And then there's us. The British. That's interesting, isn't it? Because we all want to become pals with each other. I've had a pen pal in Woking for 25 years that I met in Lanzarote. But it was a really, really interesting for me because there's a way I can always tell if someone is from the south of England on holiday. And it's I don't need to hear your accent, nothing. The way, number one, I will tell if you are from the south of England is, it will be 9 o'clock at night. It's 28 degrees. The moon and the stars are out. And you come out wearing a wee jumper. Because it gets a bit chilly. It's 28 degrees. The moon's out. I'm Scottish. I'm like, past the factor 50 hen. I do not trust the moon burn. Get me. The factor 50. Then there's another way I can always tell someone is from the south of England. You and I are on an all-inclusive holiday. We can eat as much as we want, and they will go to the bar and they will order a half pint. No, you can't order a half pint in Scotland. Next time you visit Scotland, try and order a half pint. That is one of the most tense conversations you will ever have. About 3 months ago, I went to a bar in my home city of Glasgow, and I says to the barman, can I have 2 pints of lager and a half pint of lager? And he looked at me, and he went, what was that? I said, it's 2 pints. He went, no, just the last one. I went, it's just a half pint of lager, mate. Hold on. Come here. Tell him. Just the last one. I mean, it's just a half pint of lager. Is that for you? It's for my pal. Huh? Are they on antibiotics? Are they pregnant? Would they like a colouring book and crayons with that?
I'm from Glasgow. If I had to explain Glasgow to you, in the desert, more ginger people. That's why they couldn't send Prince Harry. They couldn't afford the resources required to start developing factor 60,000 sunblock. It's not always the friendliest place in the world, Scotland. I once saw an English guy in Glasgow trying to order a pint of lager and lime, and the barman went, we don't do cocktails. We can't just be dour, negative bastards up there. John Logie Baird invented the TV, and when people came up to congratulate him, he went, aye, but there's fuck all on. We're looking forward to the Olympics in London. I'll take that as a no.
You don't need to be in the army these days to get a gun if you're a young person. A lot of gun crime on the streets, a lot of caps getting popped. I don't really know the solutions. I just know the problems. It used to be in the UK at 14 years old you could legally be in possession of an air rifle, which is not a proper gun, it's still SWAT, right? But that get moved to 17 years old. Because 17-year-olds, they're dead responsible. If somebody was pointing a gun at you, you'd be going, "That's fine, he looks about 17. It's good." He knows what he's done. 17 years old to be in possession of a firearm, but you've got to be 18 before you can be in possession of fireworks. 17, you can shoot somebody dead, but you've got to wait a year before you can frighten the shite out of a cat. But drugs, I get offered drugs quite a lot in this game. You get offered the usual suspects like ecstasy, speed, and a drug called horse tranquilizer. You shouting yay or nay? There. I can understand people who don't know anything about drugs. Maybe trying ecstasy because it sounds quite good, or the connotations of the name, ecstasy. You think of states of euphoria and happiness. And then speed is pretty self-explanatory. Then horse tranquilizer. That hardly sounds the most sociable of evenings. The fact I've replaced the original name with the effect it has on a horse. I think that's the way every drug should be tested. Give a lot of them to horses, then you can see what it actually does to you. It would also make the Grand National pretty interesting. 20 quid on the one that's breakdancing, please. I was watching a programme about children from the opposite end of the social spectrum. A programme called My Super Sweet 16th. Anybody seen this? Don't get too excited, it's quite shite. I was watching it about 2 o'clock in the morning when the TV's quite shite. Anybody watch late night telly? You ever been up that late at night when the TV just goes, "Get to bed"? There's nothing to see here. Unless you're a deaf baseball fan with a gambling problem, Peter. Does anybody watch these late night Channel 5 phone-in quiz shows? Anybody seen these, like Quiz Mania and The Cash Vault? It's just robbing drunk people. No, you come in at night, there's some guy going, "Okay, everybody. Okay. Thanks for watching, okay? For £10,000, we're looking for a guy's name." You come home steaming. "I know a guy's name." £10,000. I know a few guys' names.
I think often a lot of people don't realise there's an actual person behind somebody's disability. And I experienced this, right, firsthand when I got lost in a park in Glasgow. I came off the path. I was in the bushes. Right, looking like a proper creepy weirdo. And I heard this guy aggressively running over at me, shouting, "Oi, you!" And I turned to face him. And he stopped dead in his tracks, went, "Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't see the stick. Thought you were a pest." You do know that's a pig guy. Yes. People only see my disability. I should see how much I can get away with. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much of a blind wronging can I be? Just go into a supermarket, blatantly shoplift a coat. I get busted trying to leave through the plate glass window again. Security guard. "Excuse me, sir, is that your coat?" Yes, do you mind taking the security tag off? Certainly, sir. Can I just see your receipt? Right. Big innocent face. Hand him a blank bit of bog roll. I bet he's not got the heart to say anything apart from, right, that's fine, have a nice day. But I still maintain, no, it is an excellent time to be disabled. In fact, now, in some areas, right, too good. To the point, I'd like to finish this evening by asking you lovely people of the Apollo a favour. Could you please, right, stop modifying sport so I can take part? It's now getting harder and harder to moan about being excluded when I am always being made to feel so very welcome. Not everything has to be accessible. There's a message. Being blind is a brilliant reason not to have to do something. Because this guy asked me if I wanted to take part in a game of football. You cheeky bastard. Oh, I'm going to guilt trip you, my friend. So I'd love to take part in a game of football, yes, but I just don't think the blind man's that welcome in the hallowed turf. Not realising blind football, it's an established sport. What sick prick came up with that? 22 blind lads running like fuck at each other. They're trying to kick a ball with a bell in it. Guys, that's not accessible. That's a blood sport. And who goes to see it? But I did. I played my part. I took part in one game. Yeah, they put me in goals. But I learned one thing. Like, in flight, a ball with a bell in it is silent.
The cable was the more middle-class option. Yes, no, we don't want a satellite dish sticking out the side of our house. No, thank you. I think it looks really quite naff, yeah. Whereas the working class, the satellite dish was the key selling point. If you're paying £25 a month, you want your neighbours to know that you are better than them. Now, we had Sky through a dish, 1997. You could be watching old school Sky in the living room, watching it on the main TV, but you could also go upstairs to the bedroom TVs, turn to a certain channel and watch Sky in the bedroom, but only with the person in the living room was watching. I don't know the intrinsic technical explanation as to why this happened, but it just did. Saturday nights, me and my dad, I'm on the couch, he's in his chair, my mum's in bed, my brother's out with his pals, just me and the old man watching Match of the Day, watching the highlights. It gets to the kind of shite games, and I say, right, I think I'm going to go to bed, Dad. Good night. And he would continue the charade, and he'd say, are you off to bed, son? Good night. And there was that mutual father and son, we both know what the plan is here. I would casually exit the living room nice and slowly. Good night. Hit the hallway and race up the stairs. Don't even consider looking in the fridge. Eyes on the prize. Upstairs, bedroom TV switched on. Go to number 6. That's when you see what he's watching. TVs are synchronised. 6, we're in. He's in control. A few minutes go by and he's still watching Match of the Day. That's fine. Well, he must be giving it a few minutes. Don't want to make it too obvious. He's done this before. 5 minutes go by. He's still watching Match of the Day. I'm thinking, come on, stick to the plan, Andy. I'm looking at the bottom left of the screen, waiting for the numbers to get typed in. The numbers that could make or break the evening's entertainment. Go on, give me your numbers, Andy, come on. 9! That's a good start, 9. Could not have hoped for a better start than a 9 there. 0-5, the 10-minute free view. You're a dirty bastard, Dad, but I love you. So, we've got some celebrities in, as always. Live at the Apollo, who have we got? We've got the EastEnders cast. How are we doing, EastEnders? They're sitting right at the back. I don't mean the extras, I mean the real people. We're trying to get Phil Mitchell. No, where is he? He's up at King's Cross, dressed up as a ladyboy, trying to raise enough money to buy a pot noodle, isn't he?
And I love Argos, man. My woman took me there, man. I freaked out about Argos. You English people do stuff different. You got that catalog shopping at Argos. The only store where you keep the catalog at the store. Like people go, hey, do you want to go down to Argos and check out the catalog? Why didn't we bring it here? Because that's not what you do here. We're going to go down there and check if stuff's in stock or out of stock. Spend a day with it. And I'll tell you something, Argos freaked me out. First time I ever walked into Argos, they made me feel like I was a spy. Because I walked up to that teller and I handed her this little piece of paper. And she just looked at me and went, okay. Go to checkpoint B. Yeah, I went to checkpoint B. They didn't even know who I was, man. I was like, you don't know me? I'm 376. I think you have a package for me. My woman, she loves Argos, man. My woman loves Argos because of that catalog. Women love catalogs. Catalog to a woman is like the Bible, except real. Yeah, stuff actually happens in the catalog. My woman doesn't even need to look at the index to know what page the stuff she wants is on. My woman walk into Argos, just kick those doors open, grab her little red gambler pen there. Feel lucky, Tom. She'll flip through that catalog like she was a Jedi Knight. She'll be like, that's what I want, Tom. And I'm always amazed. I'm like, wow, how'd you do that? She goes, I'll show you something else, Tom. That's what you want. And I'm standing there looking at it going, I don't even know what I want. And then I look at it and go, holy shit, that is what I want. A trampoline. Yeah, because I didn't want a trampoline for $129.95, but for $79.95, I needed a trampoline.
I'm gonna tell you something. You can't just buy no trampoline. You gotta get all your trampoline trimmings. Huh? Gotta get that safety cage in case you don't know how to bounce up and down. One of these sideway bouncers. Turns out I'm a sideway bouncer. I was bouncing from side to side. I smashed my head against that safety bar, and I'm bleeding in the safety cage. And thank God that safety bar was there to stop me from landing on that soft grass.
People ask me, they say, Chris, what is it like trying to raise a child when you can't see the child? It's ups and downs, you know, ups and downs. You just got to go with the flow. Can't prepare yourself, you know. She's 3.5 now. When she was 2.5, if you haven't got kids, by the way, as soon as they get to 2, they're adorable. They just start asking questions. They want to know what everything is. You are their source of information. They want to absorb the world. My daughter, she's 2.5. She's in the bath. I'm knelt there. I'm bathing her. She's like, what's this, Daddy? What's this, Daddy? Oh, bloody no, do I? Give it here. Just... You might be 2.5, but you know way more than Daddy at this point, sweetheart. What's this, Daddy? Ice cream? I was like, ice cream? Big handful of shit, wasn't it? Massive. Not like a little pebble, not like a little sweetness. Where did that cut? An impressive quantity for an adult male. I wasn't entirely sure the dog hadn't jumped in and done it when my back was turned, and she just scooped it out. She just slapped it in there in one go. It threw me. I didn't... Look, right, I obviously didn't see it coming. I didn't even... No. I didn't even smell it coming. This came from underwater. This was a stealth move, right? And I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened. You know, I've narrowed it down to 2 options, I think. I've given it some thought. I mean, she was 2.5. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She deserves the benefit of the doubt, doesn't she? Option 1, benefit of the doubt. This is what happened. She sat in the bath with the warm water. Yeah? She farts. She shits herself. She doesn't know she's done that. A few minutes later, that goes floating past her in the bath, doesn't it? She sees it there. She thinks to herself, I wonder what the bloody hell that is. That looks a little bit like ice cream. I know, she thinks. I'll ask Daddy about that. He knows about these things. He's a very, very clever man, yeah? That's option 1, isn't it? Benefit of the doubt. Option 2. She's a bloody comedy genius. She's sat there in the bath. She's got Mr. Penguin up here on the wall. She's got, hey, Mr. Penguin, Mr. Penguin. Get on this now. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be amazing. Watch his face now. Watch his face. Watch. Keep looking. Keep looking. What am I going to do? Not only am I going to do a shit and put it in his hand, I bet you I can make him sniff it. Ice cream, Daddy? Ice cream, huh? We were very lucky with my daughter. They say you got to watch your language around your kids, don't they? That's what they say. We were very lucky. My daughter's first words, apart from hand on heart, apart from mama, dada, baba, all that nonsense, her first words were go away. That's what she said. That's all she said for 3 months. Go away. Go away. She thought it was just one word. Go away. Go away. Why? Because that's what me and my wife said to the dog every time we were trying to feed my daughter. We'd get the food out, wouldn't we? The dog would get up, he'd go on the prowl, having a little look, wouldn't we? We'd be like, go away, go away, go away. She just picked it up. We'd push her in the pram out on the street. She'd be like, go away, go away, go away. Said to my wife, it's a good job we weren't telling that dog to fuck off, isn't it? Because we just wouldn't be able to take this kid out of the house.
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. It doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. One all. I say increased. It's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer, isn't it? Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. It'd be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about terrorism. Terrorism... Listen, one of my main issues with terrorism is simple, all right? It's got people that have known me my entire life doubting my credibility, all right? It's mad thing. And I want to let you know, all right? You guys are a little bit worried at the moment. I'll make it explicit for you. I am not a member of ISIS, all right? I'm not, okay? I have nothing to do with those people. I don't follow their ideology. That's because I've got 6 months left on my Al-Qaeda membership. I'm a lot... Where did they go? My gosh. I'm going to get some water, all right? Flipping it. It was a bad choice wearing this heavy-ass jacket, you know what I mean? And you know what, actually? Ooh, it's squirting all over the place. I tell you what is the biggest threat to Muslims on the face of the planet today, all right? Dehydration. We cannot carry around clear liquids in a bottle anywhere, all right? Exactly. Dying up here on this stage, dying in airplanes, stressing me out. But the thing about, listen, hey, can I pop this here? Bruv, can you have that? Thank you, my G. One of the worst things about terrorism is how it's got people doubting my credibility. People I've known my whole life, all right? I want to give you an example. I've got a neighbour, okay? She's called Maud. She's known me for 27 years. And because of the media narrative, the way that the media portrays Muslims, minorities, Black Lives Matter, the world is very divisive. Who in this room just wants to live and get along? Make some noise. Exactly, we all want to, all right? But the media has got people doubting me, all right? So I've had my neighbour 27 years. We've got it's a nice, simple thing. It's a neighbourly thing to do, all right? A regular Friday wheelie bin ritual. We grab the wheelie bin, drag it down to the end of the driveway, have a quick natter, go back in. It's what neighbours do, innit? It's what neighbours do, all right? This particular Friday, Maud is like clockwork, but she was late. And I'm thinking, rah, is Maud okay? I hope she's all right. Usually she's like, the bin was stinking of shit, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be a good neighbour and have this conversation. Boom. 3 minutes later, boom! She kicks open the door. She's stressed. She's flustered. I said, Maud, is everything okay? She says, now, Gus, everything is far from all right. Have you seen the news? I'm like, listen, Maud, a lot of my cousins are on there. I don't watch that shit. You know that. Bring back a lot of bad memories for me, Maud. She says, Gus, it's the ISIS. I-Z-I. She's from Birmingham, that's how she spells it. It's the ISIS. They've been doing terrible bloody terrorisms again, them lot. I was like, yo, Maud, listen, that's bad. I don't agree with those people, and, you know, I hope they're brought to justice. She says, you say that, Guzzy, yeah? But you got to tell me something, babes. You're nothing like them, are you? I said, what? Maud, you know me. 27 years, baby. I'm nothing like them. Stop buying into the media narrative. Stop buying into the news. I'm me, Guz, your neighbour. She says, I know you say that. It's just that from very specific angles. This is a very Bin Laden look you've got going on there. I said, hey, I don't even look like that guy. It's very racist. She says, Guz, I know, I'm just being silly. But you just do me one more favour though, babes, okay? It's just more for my rod, really, yeah? If you hear anything about it before the news does, just let me know.
We have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. Very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? As soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Oh, what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? With the family crying. I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number 1 question. Have you ever died? Number 2 question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see a pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's what I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. I having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're rarely interesting. They're rarely, and I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was, what, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. And he's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. but Jesus Christ. I think not to listen to him drone on one more time about how he won stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it. Well, then I hit it to him, and he hit it back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis. Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the tennis. Oh, for God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping, where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
Going away with my wife, she does this thing, right? If you get her in an airport, I'm not allowed to have my own passport. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm a 40-year-old man. I get to passport control. They say, you got your passport, mate? I'm like, no. I'm not allowed to carry it. Apparently, I'm not mature enough. I don't know what happens, man. The moment you get her near an airport, she becomes like some sort of Russian people trafficker. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I must have all the passports. You cannot handle passport. You are too stupid for passport. I must keep all passports in zippy clear travel document folder, huh? Alongside printout from TripAdvisor. But you may carry the bags. I'm like a peasant boy for the day. Oh, thank you, master. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a real honor for me to carry your bags, you know. 11 pair of shoes for 3-day mini break is a good idea. Yes. Maybe you will become a centipede while we are in Egypt. Who knows? I went on a stag do recently. I went to the Munich Beer Festival. Has anybody here been to the Munich Beer Fest? Seemingly everybody. How many days did you go for, mate? No days. Got deported on arrival. We went for 7 days. We got there on a Monday, right? We had 6 straight days drinking, Monday through Saturday. And on Sunday, we said, we've got to do something different, right? So we went to Dachau concentration camp. Yeah. It was a weird shout. There's no getting away from it. Could have gone go-karting. I said, no, let's do some World War II here. It took a long time to get there, and when we got there, it was shut. Now, yeah, it felt inconvenient. However, given the wider backdrop of historical suffering, I didn't necessarily think that my inconvenience was that big a deal, right? So I just thought I'll take it on the chin. But we had a mate of us called Tim, and Tim started popping off at the German security guard. He said, mate, it's a Sunday, yeah? It's a big tourist day. It's outrageous that it's shut. I said, to be fair, it's outrageous that it was ever open, you know what I mean? It's not... It is weird that you're making this about you, Tim, to be honest. People say dumb things, though, don't they? I was having a beer with my mate Wayne the other day, and Wayne likes to tell you where he was on the occasion of big historical news events that happen within our lifetime, right? So I mentioned 9/11, and Wayne went, 9/11, remember where I was that day? I was like, don't care where you were. I don't see how it's relevant. I don't see how your whereabouts on that fateful, terrible day will form some sort of meaningful historical footnote, Wayne. I'm being honest here. He looked hurt. He went, all right, where were you? He went, karate. I went, see, that's exactly the sort of trivial shit I was worried about, Wayne. He said, well, you know, I was in New York 6 months before that. Makes you think, doesn't it? I was like, no. No, to be honest, all it makes me think is I wish you'd been there 6 months later. Sorry.
You do a thing in the UK called pre-drinks. Pre-drinks, all right? Some people call it prinks, because they don't even have time to pronounce the whole word before they get on it, all right? Pre-drinks. I had no idea what it was. I had to ask my friend. I was like, Di, what the hell are pre-drinks? He said, Ignacio, it's great. We drink at home before we go out to go drinking. I said, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I said, why would you do this? He said, you know, just to warm up to get ready to go drinking. I said, that doesn't make any sense, all right? You don't do it for anything else, do you? You don't go, we're going to go to the cinema, pop a fucking DVD in before we go to the cinema. Nonsense. Just fire up the old Netflix and do shots of popcorn. Is it made before we go down to the cinema? Craziness. Everything revolves around booze, okay? People in this country start drinking around about 13, 14 years of age. Does that feel about right? 13, 14. Some of you, depending on where you're from, younger, some of you older, all right? I get that. But I came over, I visited as a teenager, and I found out the way it works, all right? I was trying to fit in, and they were like, right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go down drinking in the park, all right? We're gonna go drinking in the park as teenagers, all right? I was like, right, they go, right, we're gonna steal booze from our parents, and we're gonna go down the park, all right? I was like, okay, no problem. So I showed up to the park, all right, feeling like Jason Bourne or something in my backpack, and I think, pull out the stuff, all right, what's in there? They were like, what the hell is Rioja? Like, it's Rioja. Does anyone have a corkscrew, actually? Because otherwise we're going to be here for a while. The thing is, like, kids do that, and if they can't steal the booze from their parents, what they do is they'll stand by an off license, all right? And they will wait for somebody to walk past who looks just dodgy enough, but not too dodgy, so they can offer them money and go, hey, can you go in the shop for me and pick me up some beer, some vodka, whatever, we can go down drink in the park, and that person will go get the cash, and then you go there, you get shit-faced as teenagers, it bonds you, okay? It brings you together. At least that was my experience, okay, back in the day. But times have changed, all right? I went to back where my mother's from, okay? My mother's from a little town in Wales called Pontardawe, all right? Don't know if anyone's heard of it. Tiny little town, Pontardawe. Pontardawe is a Welsh word, all right? Pont means bridge, and Dawe means over a shithole, okay? It's not a delightful place to move to from Mallorca, is what I'm trying to say. Right? My mother hates that joke. She's like, Ignacio, please stop saying that. They've taken all of the trolleys out of the canal, all right? Can we... But I was visiting and I was walking to see my mother and I passed an off license, okay? And there's this kid stood by the off license as I'm passing, all right? And he clocks me and I've got my guitar on my shoulder, so he's thinking, this guy's got no prospects. So he comes over to me with his cash, all right? And he was like, hey, could you maybe go in the shop? I'm like, I know where this is going. He goes, can you pop in the shop? I'm like, right. He goes, if I give you this money? I'm like, yep. And he goes, and get me some. I was like, I know where we're going. He goes, vape. I was like, what? He goes, vape. I said, seriously, vape? He said, yeah. I said, what flavor? He said, cherry. I was like, of course, cherry vape. All right, rock and roll. I go in the shop. I'm laughing to myself. I can't believe these kids asked me for cherry vape. How times have changed, all right? I go up to the counter. The guy behind the counter must have thought I was insane, all right? I'm laughing the whole way through the shop. I grab the stuff, pay for it, put it in the bag. I walk out. I'm laughing on the way out. I give the kid the bag. I go, there you go, pal. 20 Marlboro Red and a bottle of vodka. Grow up, you little shit. What is this? Vape nonsense.
To be honest with you, I'm bisexual, but during lockdown, I'll admit, I was strategically gay. I think that was the only way to go. When dating became such that you had to meet strangers in parks, and also you had to believe the other person when they said they washed their hands. I'm not doing that with men. I also think that ultimately, if you are bi, I don't really know why anybody would be choosing men. Yeah, no offense, it's just that we smell better and you're violent. So... The men who don't laugh at that unnerve me most, yeah. Okay. Good lad, join in. Okay. There are good things about being broken up with. I think one of my favourite things is that I had to get my house sorted, so I got a bunch of DIY done. It really, I think DIY is amazing. DIY, in particular, there's one silver lining, and that is that DIY reminded me of something I had long forgotten the point of, which is, of course, men. You're amazing, aren't you? Specifically, I'm a fan of a subgenre of men. They're called handymen. Do we know these guys? Oh my God, they're wizards. I love them. They do magic. I adore them. You're not sold. That's okay. I had one lad in one day, had a bunch of photos and art on the floor, left, came back, on the wall. sorry, these guys are defying gravity and you're not impressed by that? Incredible. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I also had one day where I had 2 men in, I know, very exciting, and I had a bookcase, right, that needed bolting to the wall. I said, can you bolt that to the wall? They said, yeah, of course we can. I said, cool. Just so you know, even if you bolt it to the wall, the floor is uneven, so it will wobble. They said, no, don't worry about that, sure, we'll just get some extra wood and pop it under it. What? I said, don't worry about that, sure, we'll just get some MDF and pop it under it. What is this witchcraft? Here's the thing, Apollo. They did. I was like, I will suck you both off. Obviously, I had to think about it afterwards because head was my first reaction, only my first reaction, I think a normal one. My second one was, of course, to wonder how I am a woman in her 30s who doesn't know how to do any DIY. And I think the obvious answer there is that men are keeping it a secret to remain relevant. And that's not on me, right? But I do know some women can do DIY. I date soft butches, I'm aware. But genuinely, I mainly know because a woman came to my house from British Gas, very modern, and she fixed my boiler, right? And after she was done, she said, okay, that's all done, all sorted. Just before it works, you will need to bleed the radiators. I said, what? She said, oh, for that to work, you're just going to need to bleed the radiators. I said, the butch one left. What are you saying? Sorry? Can't really hear you behind all of my hair. What's happening? She goes, do you want me to show you how to do that? I said, is that allowed? Women in the room, look at me. Come here to me now, focus, right? Did you know that that is just turning a key and waiting for liquid? It is basic hand job stuff, and no one will tell you. Here's the thing. Every man in my life has acted like that as a state secret. Right? This man's furious, I'm telling you. You now have all the information you need. You're free, run. My dad bleeds a radiator in such a way that I thought he used his own dick. I thought there was actual blood involved. He'll go off with a bunch of tissues being like, I will do it. Do not look. I will do it. Anyway, she fixed my boiler, so I was like, I will eat you out. They all said no. I had to pay both times. It's hard out there.
I'll set the scene. You're in stirrups, so it's like you've been riding a horse and then the horse has fucked off. And you've tumbled over and ended up, in my case, in the back room of an NHS hospital. Then what has happened, every time I've been for a smear, and I don't know, some they're rolling out just for me, but every time I've been for a smear, what seems to happen is a doctor will come over and they'll go, hi, Miss Ruffle, thanks so much for coming in. It's really important you keep up to date with your smear test. Now listen, if this is a problem, you can absolutely say no. You can totally say no. It's not a big deal. But would it be all right? We have some trainee doctors in today. Could they all come in? And you want to go, no, there's a horse on the loose. Could they go and get that? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happens is between 65 and 70 trainee doctors come in. There's loads of them. It's like a walking tour's got lost. It's not good. I also need to let you know something. People in the room that haven't been to a smear, I need to let you know something. When you're having your smear, you feel a little bit silly. You feel a little bit silly, and I'll tell you for why. T-shirt, nothing. Little pair of socks. A little bit silly. You feel a little bit like Winnie the Pooh. The doctor's back. She says, Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your smear? And you want to say, no, can I have someone who's had a crack at it before, please? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happens? The trainee doctor came at me like this. The doctor's back. She says, Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your paperwork? I was like, yeah, once I'm a chuff, who'll fill out form, carry on. So she goes, you're Susie Ruffle. I'm like, yeah, that's me. She goes, okay. First question, what are you using as contraception? Undercut on the Doc Martens not enough? What more do you need? I said, I'm not using contraception. She went, oh, well, if you're sexually active, you do need to be using contraception. And I was like, oh, no, I don't. She went, no, you do. Because even if you're using the old-fashioned technique or, the Catholic technique, nothing about what I am doing is Catholic. She said, you should be very careful. You can have a baby tomorrow. I think it would take 9 months. I've got 4 GCSEs. You're nearly a doctor. You should know that. And she wasn't picking up what I was putting down. And what I was putting down was a KD Lang album. So eventually I just had to come out. Now, of course, there'll be queer people in the room. You know what it's like. Sometimes you have to come out in situations where you didn't know you were coming out that day. You hadn't put it in the diary. So I had to say, I'm a gay lady. I'm a lady that's gay. I'm a glady. And the one that was down here doing the jiggery-pokery, which I think is the official term. I asked him a gay lady and she popped up like I'd birthed her. So, whoa. She is a lot older than I thought she'd be, but we are very proud she's a doctor. I said to a gay lady, she popped up and went, oh, right, that makes sense. Snug. That's not a medical term, is it? Has that gone on my record? Snug, what a weird word to use. Because it sounds like she's looking down there and she can see the back end of a Tudor pub.
Whenever I talk about my Prosecco paunch, there's always a very specific laugh in the audience. I've learned to recognise it. It's just over there tonight. It's this. And I know what it is now. That is the laugh of a thin yoga woman. The laugh is like, that's funny, but I'd kill myself if I looked like you. But I promise you, there's advantages to having a Prosecco paunch. Make some noise if you got one. 2 female will laugh for the bodies in the room. Don't be shy, lads. I can see you, it's quite well lit. Let's try that again, we're all being honest about ourselves. Give us a cheer if you got a Prosecco paunch. Boys. The thing is, if you have a Prosecco paunch, there are advantages to it, right? 2 main ones I can think of. Number 1, I don't want to be crude, but I can take some hammer. Yeah, it's true. I can give you a list of names that can attest to that as well. Not surnames. Now, the other thing is my Prosecco paunch always gives me the greatest slice of joy, right? You know those 3 incredibly hot days we get that we pass off as the summer, right? I absolutely love those because that's when I get all my tanning done. I'm taking it very seriously. I go and get a chair from the kitchen. I go and put it slap bang in the middle of my garden, right? Because all the sun hits there. I've not got outdoor furniture. I'm not a Tory. So I pop it there. And then I get as naked as is legally possible. So I've got full spaniel's ears out. Smallest knickers I can find. You might be worrying about me now, because this is obviously filmed in London. I live in the countryside. I've not really got neighbours. I've got one lad who can see into my garden. He's depressed. He's not looking out his window for 3 weeks. We're fine, right? I also get very precious when I'm doing my tanning, right? Very precious. So what I'll do is I roll my knickers down as small as I can get them, because I'm like, I don't want tan lines, actually. I don't want tan lines. I got a bush like a badger, but I don't want tan lines. It's got TV. I don't want tan lines. I'm not allowed near cows. So I lie there, drinking it in, and as I lie there, think to myself, you know what? I am going to get up, and I am going to go to the freezer, and I am going to treat myself to a 3rd Magnum of the day. Because I'm a special princess, and I do deserve it. Thank you. For all the people who are allowed ice cream up there in that one section. Lactose intolerant in the stalls. Closer to the toilets, it makes sense. So I'll decide I'm going to treat myself to that Magnum. And then I'll wait another 40 minutes till I can actually be asked to get up and get it. And then when I get up and get it, this is where my Prosecco paunch really steps up. Because as I stand up, I will hear the sound of my own gunt peeling off the top of my own leg. Yeah. Don't go, Don't pretend you're not turned on. It's embarrassing. It's an incredible noise. It's like this. That's my mating call. It is. I just see a row of bald heads along the fence like that. It's just divorced dads who are like, is that low self-esteem I can hear? Do you want to come to Pizza Hut and be a mum for 2 hours? Oi,
this is nice, isn't it? Yes. Is anyone here in their 40s? Is it? You're not in your 40s? Have you guys started walking like this yet? It happens like clockwork, you know? It's mad. Like, I'll be walking around the co-op like I'm in an art gallery, just... Reduced by how much? Not enough. That and I've got a boner for linen. Ooh. In it. I literally go out shopping for fabric and I'm like, give me a fabric that will crease really easily. Yes. I want to iron it for at least an hour. That's for me. That and candles. Woo! Now listen, I used to party hard. And I found that burning your money via candles is a great replacement. When I say I like candles, yeah, I'm going diptyque, baby. Thank you. I'm going Joe Malone. Fig for me. Which also, like, I'm from a council estate. What does fig really smell like? Does anyone... I'm just going on what Joe Malone told me, you know what I mean? These candles are expensive. I reckon for a £5 I could probably buy 50 figs, chuck it in the oven and just waft it around the house a few times. The dream is, yeah, I want enough money that I can light a Joe Malone candle when it's just me in the house. Come with me, people. Can you imagine coming home to your yard, it's just you in, and you're like, you know what? Fig for me. As it is, if you was over my house and I had a candle on the go, no lie, after about 20 minutes, I'll start thinking that's about £17 worth of scent now. What kind of friend is he anyway? Is that enough? I realise there's nothing more insulting than someone lighting your scented candles when you're not there to enjoy the scent. Innit? I had my brother house sitting for me, right? I was away for a couple of weeks. I walked back into the house. As soon as I opened up the door, I was like... I walked into the front room. This guy is reclining on my sofa, lighting his spliff with my Joe Malone candle. The ash was falling into the wax. I was like, you all right? Yeah, you good? Now, we know as British people, when our voices go high like that, we mean the opposite, right? The higher our voices go, the less we're about it. You know what I mean? If someone's like, you coming to a party? You're like, yeah! What that means is, I'm not coming to your party, mate. So I said, you all right? What you doing? He's like, oh, it's just a bit of mood lighting, innit? It's like, IKEA tea light is mood lighting. That's not even it. It was a 3-wick candle. Only 1 wick was lit. Thank you.
It's chaos out there, isn't it? We like to convince ourselves we're logical creatures, but we're not. And it's chaos out there. It's madness. They sell matches in petrol stations. It's chaos out there. Like, I was listening to this debate show recently on the radio, and they were talking about cannabis legalisation. And the people in the cheap seats are very excited. But they were talking about it, cannabis legalisation. And there was a guy on there making some pretty good points, and he kept saying, look, there's no logic to the fact that you can buy alcohol in this country legally, but you can't buy weed, which is a far less dangerous drug. And some of you, well, yeah. Look, some of you might agree with that, and some of you might not. But the thing is, that argument ignores the huge swathes of things that we can buy. There's absolutely no logical reason for us to be able to buy. Like, yeah, you can't buy weed. Maybe you should be able to. Do you know what you can buy? Do you know what every single person in this room could buy tomorrow, if we wanted to, and there's no debate as to whether it's right or wrong? A horse. You've taken that very well as an audience. You know what a horse is, right, mate? You know what a horse is? Massive furry van with no respect for human life. You know what a horse is? Stand behind it, kicks you in the head, you're just dead, you can just buy one. Does anyone else find that weird? Anyone can buy a horse? Anyone can buy a horse. Anyone. I live in a 3rd-storey flat in South London. I can buy a horse, ride it down the high street, take it up the stairs. I've broken no laws. It's harder to buy scissors. Maybe you don't believe me. I get that, maybe you don't. Frankly, I didn't believe me. I wrote this routine. I was like, come on, Sean. Come on, you can't just buy a horse. You've got to need land or permits or something like that. So I went on Google. Not only can you genuinely just buy a horse, right? I am not making this up. Do you know how much it costs? £40. For a horse. Do you know what a horse is? When word gets out, it's £40 a horse. Society is going to change immeasurably. I mean, for a start, Uber are finished. It's over. It's done. Honestly. You think Friday nights are rough as it is. You wait until every stag do in the country's got a steed dressed as a minion, all right? In many ways, might be the best thing that ever happened to us. I do think that. Think of all the problems it could solve if we went back to horseback. Think of it. Biggest problem at the moment, cost of living crisis. Petrol's through the roof. How am I going to get around? I can't afford my car tax. £40 horse, one payment, easy, done. £40, you can go where you want. You might be thinking, well, sure, you need to clothe a horse, you need to feed a horse. Here's the thing with a £40 horse. No, you fucking don't. It's a £40 horse. It's a £40 horse. It's a £40 horse. What else are you going to do? Just leave it at the side of the road. It's like those scooters. It's easy. What else are you going to do with a £40 horse, please? You wouldn't trust the glue to hold up a pin.
I sort of feel like if you've got enough money, you can sort of just pay somebody to diagnose away your shit personality. And I consider that money well spent, by the way. I would recommend it to you. Prick. No. I actually have bipolar disorder. That's why I've ruined your birthday. Poor me, actually. Now I always thought there was a system. Like, adult ADHD has changed everything for me. I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought it was a childhood thing, but now there's adult ADHD, which has confused the whole process for me. I thought the process was that if you had a child who was shit, you would say that they had ADHD. And if that child who is shit grows up to be a shit adult, you would say that they had bipolar disorder. Footnote, I've been diagnosed with both, so don't write in, camera people. Anyway, a lot of people might suffer with mental illness, and that's, you know, it's a pervasive phenomenon. A lot of you might have depression. That's your sort of garden variety mental illness. That's your standard fare. And if you do have depression, my advice to you and the community at large would just be to keep it in there. Bottle it up. Whatever you do, don't tell me about it, because I don't care. I don't care if you're depressed. I'm bored of it. I just don't want to hear about it. And I just can't be. And also, it's just not a good thing. If you have depression, don't tell me. Because as somebody who suffers with depression, you should know how pervasive depression is, that many people suffer with depression. So if you tell me that you have depression, that might make me depressed. And that doesn't really feel like a problem halved, does it? It doesn't. It's not, I just don't tell me about it, you know? Depression is an economy based on resource scarcity. And what we've done now is we've flooded the market with depression, and it's lost all of its value. And I don't care if you're depressed. Depression is currently in its Weimar Republic era of hyperinflation. And we're all wandering around with wheelbarrows full of depression going, would you look at all of this depression? And I'm there going, that's actually not as much depression as it looks like. That won't even get you a loaf of sympathy down the shops these days. My friend said to me recently, with the confidence of a man saying something new, that's lovely. He said, I just think we need to talk more about male mental health. Oh my God, how could there possibly be time to talk about it any more than we already do? We are talking. I know that we all have different perspectives, different cultural backgrounds. I can see you, or feel you rather, like moving away from me. Okay? Let's all keep lighthearted about this. I don't want to have to say only joking, given the context of what this is.
Sometimes people come up to me after shows and say, I don't like female comedians. They talk about sex too much. I say the reason why women comedians such as myself talk about sex all the time is because, well, sex is one of the few things men allow us to participate in. I am an identical twin. I know. I get asked, how do people tell you apart? And the answer is it's pretty easy, because I live in London and she's dead. She died at birth. Which I'm absolutely okay with, because that means I'll always be the pretty one. You'll be relieved to know that being American is not my only disability. I also have a very mild form of cerebral palsy. It's not a big deal. In Japanese, it's called no seisho ni mahi. Sounds very exotic. In French, it's called infirmité motrice cérébrale. It sounds much more expensive. I was going to learn how to say it in Russian, but Putin's not my president anymore, so. All it really means is I can't use the muscles on the right side of my body very well, even my face to a certain extent. God help the man hoping for a return on a left cheek kiss, because I will bite your face off. Mostly, though, it's my right arm and hand that I can't use. I can place most things in my hand and hold them. I can also give people the finger, if you're into that sort of thing. Just takes 20 minutes. And when I walk with a limp because I like big dicks if I can not. I do. My mom, she feels responsible for my disability because she is. Don't want you to get the wrong idea. I love my mother very, very much. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be a comedian. But I would be able to use both hands. I moved to London 5 years ago, but I've been coming to the UK every summer for years and years before that, because I fucking love you guys. I do. I genuinely cannot get enough of you and your no-can-do spirit. Also, as a disabled person that can't drive, I've figured out that countries with obvious alcohol problems have pretty decent public transportation. You people drink a lot. There's been a strike going on, and I'm still getting to gigs. That's how much you drink. We Americans, we don't drink as much as you. We physically can't. We're on too many opioids.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which has just changed... Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. The equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
It's lovely to be here. I've come all the way from Brighton. Just in case you're wondering what this haircut is about. Might be a new face for some of you people. Don't panic, the BBC invited me here because they needed a beige lesbian. So I'm just here to tick some boxes. Not your box, madam, just a metaphorical box. I'm half Spanish, that's what's happening there. I've got a Spanish mum, And she lives here in the UK. It's all very legal. She's lived longer in the UK than she's ever lived in Spain, but the brilliant thing about my mum is that she's never lost her accent. She talks very, very quickly. She talks lots of words she cannot pronounce. Lots and lots of words she cannot pronounce, huh? My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. It's not even a difficult name. His name's Stephen. I don't know if you've noticed this. Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen. She calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Jennifer, I know his name is my son. It is Steven! You don't want to mess with my mum. She's not like British people here in this country. We can be quite passive-aggressive, can't we? She's just very aggressive woman. I don't know how my mum's never really coped in this country, and I think it's because, like a lot of Mediterranean people, she's quite loud, yeah? She's got one volume. It's like this. Hello! How are you? Whereas in this country, particularly if we're middle class, we tend to be low talkers, don't we? We don't like to raise our voices, do we? Why? Because we've got money. Can we just assume that if you are raising your voice, well, you're probably poor. Or worse, foreign. Great thing about having a Mediterranean mum is they feed you. Oh, my God. She's always feeding. That's her way of showing that she loves her children, is to feed us. You know, I can remember going around friends' houses, you know, like English mums. Go around an English mum's house and the conversation with mum's more like this. I think you've had enough. My mum will feed you till you puke. Anything can be going on in my life and my mum will relate it back to a meal that she's cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, so good or bad. Particularly if I'm depressed. If I phone up my mum and I've had a terrible day, yeah? I phone up my mum, conversation always goes like this. Oh, Jennifer, my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. But you know what? Don't worry, okay? I made a soup. Come home. You sound hungry. I made a chicken gun, I made a lamb tagine, I made a casserole, Jennifer. I made some tortillas, some paella, some curry, Jennifer. You love the curry. Maybe some meatballs, some pork ball, beef ball, aniseed ball, banana ball. You're a lesbian. You don't eat enough balls. Please, come home. Eat my balls.
There's other younger people in the room, right? You know what I mean. You have only ever known a time in your life when you're trying not to get pregnant or trying not to get somebody else pregnant. And I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but on both accounts, I fucking smashed it.
I think it comes down to skill set at the end of the day, doesn't it? People are just good at different things. Some people are good at the violin, some people are good at parallel parking. I was very good at taking the pill. Every day, every day, every day. Honestly, I used to think I was so good at taking the pill, I deserved a reward. Arguably, there was a reward. It was the reward of not having to watch Peppa Pig or cleaning up another human's shit. Tell you what I don't understand, right, is women who are on the pill and forget to take it. Don't get that. Because don't get me wrong, I forget things. I forget my keys, my wallet, the fact I'm married. Sure! But forgetting to take something that can prevent you from creating a human that could one day say, turn the machines off, is what she would have wanted. I'm going to remember that one, thank you. Obviously, it does happen, though. Women forget to take the pill, they get knocked up. Happened to a girl I used to work with, actually, when I used to work in an office, right? And we were chatting about it one day. She was so blasé. We're in the kitchen. She's just standing there rubbing her belly like, well, the thing is, I've just got really bad memory. I was thinking, that's funny, because every day without fail, you remember to steal my milk. Maybe if you'd strapped your packet of microgynon to my semi-skimmed... Stephen in accounts wouldn't be telling everyone how you trapped him.
But I think the reason I was always very good at remembering to take the pill, because I've been on it for so long. I was on it since I was about 16. And the reason I started taking it was because I was going out with my first boyfriend, Kevin Sutherland. A boom, chicka, wow, wow. He was quite the catch. He had a Peugeot 106 and a tattoo of Bart Simpson, which I thought showed a great joie de vivre. And things were going very well between Kevin and I. We had matching bracelets from Argos, so you can tell how serious we were. And we'd agreed that we were going to do it for the first time, right? So I was like, right, I'll put myself on the pill because my first time is going to be really special. My first time is going to be just like in the movies. So the big day arrived, and Kevin, bless him, he made such an effort for everything to be really perfect. Like, he paid his little brother to leave the room. To this day, the most romantic thing a man has ever done for me. And he made a mix CD of all of our favourite romantic songs. You know, like Boom, 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 Let Me Hear You Say Wayo. And as we lay down on his single bed, with his Liverpool FC duvet cover on it, the scent of Lynx Africa heavy in the air. And as Kevin took my virginity so beautifully and gently and quickly from behind, I remember thinking, wow, just like in the movies. Obviously, it's quite difficult to make eye contact in that position, isn't it? Almost felt like I lost my virginity to Stephen Gerrard. I'll never walk alone. I never will.
And this is what I'm talking about, the assumption that if you're in a place like that, you obviously are the help. Okay, example 2, that's it, white people. One more example, and then we're moving on, right? I'm on tour in the UK. I'm going up to Leeds. All my team was already up in Leeds setting up the theatre. I'm travelling with my tour manager and best friend, Lila, also a black woman. So I go, you know what? That's Lila. I go, you know what, Lila? Let's not drive. It's a long drive. Let's get a train and go up in comfort. So we rush down to the train station. I buy us 2 first-class tickets. There's a train leaving, so we jump on the train takes off. And we're walking through the train towards the first-class carriage. We walk into the first-class carriage. This white woman is sitting at a table. She looks up, she sees us, and at the top of her voice, she shouts, this is first class! Now Lila goes, what the fuck did you say? And I hold Lila, no, Lila, no. I just grab her by a collar, no, Lila, no. No, Lila, no, Lila, no. No. Watch me humiliate this bitch just with my mouth. Come back. So at the top of my voice, I say, thank you, lady. But what was it about us that made you assume that we didn't belong in the first-class carriage? She starts to fumble. Everybody on the train just kind of leans out from behind their seats. And she gets flustered. She's like, and then all she could think of was like, I thought you were lost. And I was like, how'd you get lost on a moving train going in one direction, bitch? How? Now, this woman was not alone. She was with her husband. Her husband was sitting opposite her at the table, same table. But we did not see her husband's face for this entire confrontation because the entire time he was hidden behind the newspaper, just... His hands never came down. All we saw were his knuckles just gripping that paper. And they were in their 60s. So they'd obviously been married a long time, and he's behind that newspaper going, ah! Nosy, big mouth cow! 30 years we've been married, and every day of those 30 years I've said, Mind your own fucking business! And now we're both gonna get beaten up by these two black boys.
So I'm a single mum, right? And whatever people say, it is different than being a single dad. Because women see single dads and go, oh, he's so good with his kids. Isn't he coping wonderfully? Oh, he's so good with his children. I must have sex with him now. Whereas men see single mums and they go, run him out, baggage! I went on a date with a guy that called my little boy baggage. He's 3. He's not baggage. He's hand luggage. He just fits in the overhead lockers. It's kind of perfect. Recently, my brother said, look, Shap, you've been separated for ages now. You really need to find yourself a new fella. Why don't you go on the internet? Because my brother found his girlfriend on the internet. I think it was eBay. So I joined an internet website, and to my surprise, right, on the online form that you had to fill in, one of the things you had to tick to see who you wanted was racial preference. And it said white, Caucasian, 3 boxes, not important, decidedly important, absolutely crucial. And I thought that's a little bit weird because your photo's up there in the first place, so you can just be racist in private. You know, why hurt anyone's feelings, right? So I want to show you this. I wrote an email to the administrator of this website. I wrote him an email, basically, in a nutshell, going, what are you on, mate? And he wrote back, going, the choices we provide on our matching algorithms, I had to look that word up, nothing to do with sex, are for our users to find the perfect match. They are in no way indicative of someone being racist at all. White, Caucasian, absolutely crucial. Right, so I wrote back going, shut up, a bit more coherently than that. And then he wrote back and said, some people are more stringent than others when it comes to finding a partner. Doesn't that sound like a real dig at me? Like, oh, you'd shag any old colour. We merely help them find the right person by enabling them to measure height, weight, occupation, level of income, and ethnicity. Thing is, height, weight, occupation, level of income, they're all things that can be measured. How do you measure ethnicity? I had no idea how to measure my own when I was filling out the form. I had to look on a Dulux colour chart. Turns out I'm natural calico. This correspondence went on for quite a while, right? And tell me if you think I went too far. Eventually, I sent him a copy of the Nuremberg race laws. I'm not saying that this website is a Nazi organisation. I just think we should nip things in the bud at source. He wrote back to me and said, Dear Shappy, I've enjoyed our correspondence. I have now noticed your name is Shappy Corsandi. Might you be the same Shappy Corsandi I saw on the Michael McIntyre Comedy Roadshow? If so, I am single. And I wondered if you'd like to go for a coffee. Won't this be a funny story to tell our kids? Smiley face. I wrote back. I said, thank you so much for your email. I'm very flattered. However, I've noticed your name is James Chowdhury. Little bit too brown for me.
The most sexually adventurous thing I ever did, I did it when I was single. When I was single, I ordered the #1 vibrator on the Love Honey website. And the Love Honey website is a sex toy website, for those of you pretending not to know. I kind of ordered it out of spite, right? Because one of my exes called me a prude, which I think is such an extreme thing to call someone. I don't think I did anything to warrant that. The only thing I can think of maybe is once I said that I don't like morning sex. That's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that I'm not sex positive. I just don't think you should do something that disgusting in the morning. Not whilst the blackbird is singing his morning tune. But I went on the website. It was late at night. I just ordered the first one on the list because I thought that would be good. That would probably be quite nice. The thing that arrived is so terrifying. It plugs directly into the wall. It has one of those on the end of it. It uses mains electricity. It needs to be pat tested. I just find that so threatening, because I think what that's basically saying is, what I'm about to do to you couldn't possibly be done with a battery. I'm gonna need that same stuff that powers your fridge. It's huge, it's bigger than this. It looks like a piece of farming equipment from the Industrial Revolution. But it's called a wand. There is nothing magical about it. I've never seen this type of vibrator before. All the vibrators that I've seen advertised online are very small and portable, and they're not making big claims. They're just happy to live in your bedside drawer, and they'll be there like, okay, girl, I'm here if you need me. Like, if you and your partner get like super, super drunk one night, maybe you could experiment with me for a little bit. Honestly, I might not do anything, but I might speed things along for you a little bit. Either way, no worries if not. Whereas my vibrator is just next to the bed like, do you want to meet God? Not really. It doesn't even fit in the bedside drawer. It's just curled up on the floor like a python. And after it arrived, I was like, is this the right thing? Because I checked on the website, because I thought maybe it got mixed up with like an order meant for Guantanamo Bay. It was the right thing. Not only that, I read the description for the first time. It said in the description, this is the world's most powerful vibrator. I don't think I need that. I need absolute max, a whisper on the wind. The world's most powerful vibrator. You shouldn't be able to buy that without a license. Underneath as well, it said, the vibrator will turn off automatically after 20 minutes for your safety. 21 minutes and there's a danger of death. I don't even want to share. It cost £90. So I felt like I had to try it because I spent so much money. And I don't even have a plug next to my bed. I had to get the extension cable. That felt desperate. I turned it onto the lowest setting. It had 8 settings. I turned it onto setting 1. It was so loud. I was like, there's nothing private about this experience. The neighbours are going to think I'm having a new kitchen put in. At midnight, they're going to call the council. Well, no, they're not calling anyone. They don't have any power right now. I tried it just for like 1, maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, I can smell burning. I can't use this thing. It's going to sand me down. It's going to erode. I'm going to be flat over. There'll be nothing left like Barbie. But it had 8 settings. I thought, I have to see what setting 8 does. Not on myself. I know my limits. I just turned it up to setting 8 in the sky. Fuck me. I was like, I'm going to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
American consumerism is based on just taking out late-night ads and pretending that you're mentally deficient. Just screaming at the top of your voice. Come on down to Wally's World of Mortgages. That's right, we've got mortgages. I'm crazy. The boss left with the keys. I'm by the safe. I don't even work here. We're going to give you a mortgage. Even if you never heard of the word mortgage, come on down here, we're going to give you one. Can't pay us back, won't pay us back, we don't give a shit. Even if you're a trailer park crack whore popping babies out of your womb like self-rising biscuits, come on down here now, you're a homeowner. People let's go take advantage of that guy. He seems nuts. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular, whole infomercial devoted to the biggest piece of shit ever perpetrated on the public. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular. You can have a washboard stomach in 12. Who needs a washboard stomach? You're gonna play hillbilly bluegrass music right off your stomach? It's shit! Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. I used to pummel vaguely Middle Eastern-looking guys for a living. Now I'm selling this piece of shit Velcro nailed to an old ski. Flip it over, it's a canoe. Turn it inside out, it's a lady's evening dress. It's shit! You can have it by tomorrow. Of course you can, because it's a big piece of shit. That's what we do in America. We make lots of crap, but we deliver it really, really fast. Good things come to those who wait, but shit pretty much shows up right away, doesn't it? Pick up the phone. I like the ab crunch, bing bong. That was fast. Wacka, 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 wacka. I'd love to tell you things are better in America, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, I don't really know. We have a fantastic president, but most Americans just want to see his birth certificate. Show us your birth certificate, Obama. Because, you know, I know I watched the elections here, and I kind of watched them. I kept an eye on them. I didn't get the full brunt of it. Basically, I left the country for a while. Gordon Brown was in charge. I came back. Now, apparently, the country's being led by 2 gay antiques dealers. I don't know how that happened. But at least they're getting along. As Americans, let me explain it to you. There's 2 parties in America. You probably know this. There's Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are called the red states. Democrats are the blue states. The blue states are generally either on the West Coast or on the Atlantic seaboard. So basically, Democrat is anyone who's seen water. If you go to America, find a Republican and take him to the beach. And even the Republicans hate each other now. So they have a splinter group called the Teabaggers, the Tea Party, Teabaggers, whose leader, of course, is Sarah Palin, future presidential candidate, who spent 2 years governing 8,000 square miles of snow and would occasionally nip out at lunch to blow the head off a moose from 300 yards away. That's presidential material. Another woman who's moved to the forefront, running for a senator from Delaware, named Christine O'Donnell, who's running on a platform of anti-masturbation. She actually wants to make masturbation illegal. I give that law 6 minutes. Because the Bible says it's wrong. These are her exact words. Well, if my husband has figured out how to please himself, why am I in the picture? I got news for you. You're not. No man ever whacked one out of the ballpark thinking of his wife, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be thinking of anything. You'd be thinking of a 300-pound Bavarian milkmaid strapped over a barrel, or you banger with a kayak paddle wearing a Burger King paper crown and making her call you Mr. King Big Daddy Spanky Bottom. As you're about to shoot a ropey parabola of man jizz onto her ham hock buttocks, David Hasselhoff walks in dressed as a Luftwaffe pilot and says you've got a tax refund coming. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
It was lovely the way I was introduced there. It's really nice to be introduced. It's a really nice thing to get used to in a new job when somebody says your name and people clap and cheer. It's lovely. It was a little bit weird at the doctor's the other day. Because nobody clapped. Every time I said clap, I think they thought that's what I had. But I decided in January, I think a lot of people do this in January, I decided in January to try to sort of better myself. I'm not really bothered about losing weight, but I quite like the idea of getting fit, so I thought I'll get myself an exercise DVD. Now, you know when your partner goes shopping and they say, do you want anything? And you're supposed to say no, but instead you give them a list. Sometimes I just make shit up I don't even need just to see his face. And he looks at the list and he goes, what's the difference between a tangerine and a satsuma? Ha ha, it's a test. And I said to him, could you get us an exercise DVD? That's what I thought I'd do. I'd get an exercise DVD. I said, just like a bog standard, like a beginner's guide, a very basic exercise DVD. And he said, no problem. He came home with Davina's Buff Your Abs. I thought I'm going to have to lose 3 stone before I can find me bloody abs. So I took it back and I swapped it for the one that I wanted, which was, you know, just fat lass has a go, you know. Or the sequel, Fat Lass Tries Again. And I watched the first few minutes, and you know how it's always a celebrity in a trainer, isn't it? Because the celebrity sells the DVDs and the trainer knows what they're doing. And in the first few minutes, they were both laughing at nothing. It was very unnerving. And the trainer said to the celebrity, tell the viewers at home what weight you were when you started this regime? The celebrity went, when I started this regime, I was 10 stone. I realised then that I'm aiming for a start weight. But I like to eat. Is that so bad? I like to eat. Sometimes I think I've got a tapeworm, but that it's just full. But I'm trying to eat more healthily. I had an apple the other day. Thank you. I put it in my handbag on an optimistic Monday. And by the Thursday, there weren't any Kit Kats left. And I was starving. I thought, I'm going to have to find it. So I looked around in my handbag. And I found it. It was prematurely bruised and battered. It had pen on it. But I was starving, so I peeled off the clean panty liner and I ate it. And it was all right. It was all right. It really reminded me of something I'd had years ago that I liked, and I was like, what does it remind me of? I can't remember. Toffee apples. I've got a good relationship with me mum. You know, sometimes in comedy you laugh at things because it's familiar, because it's a shared experience. Sometimes you laugh because you're just glad you're not me. See if this has happened to anybody else. Whenever I'm on the phone to me mum, it always makes me need a poo. Give us a woo if that's happened to you. See, I've looked into it. It's a closeness issue. It means that me and those people who wooed, we love our mums more than the rest of you lot love yours. I love my mum so much it makes me shit. Try getting that on a balloon for Mother's Day. Thank God for Moonpig. But I bought a house quite recently. I wanted to buy a house because I'd lived in flats for 16 years and I really missed going upstairs to bed. Not through the kitchen. Upstairs to bed. But I was sitting only a few months later upstairs in bed, quite smugly, just thinking, this is the life. I've arrived. I'm upstairs in bed. And then I thought, oh, no, now I've got to go downstairs for food. What I really wanted, like my parents have both always lived near a park and I'd always been able to see a tree out of my bedroom window, so that became a priority. When I was house hunting, I wanted to be able to see a tree out of my bedroom window. But it became very clear that I'm not massively suited to country living, having lived in the city centre for so long. I drove along a lovely country lane, and I saw a white marquee tent. And instead of thinking, oh, somebody's having a lovely summer party, I just thought, oh, someone's been murdered. But I found a house that I liked and I got a survey done. The survey came back and it meant nothing to me at all. But luckily I've got a friend who's a builder and he said, let me have a look at it, and I put it into layman's terms. I said, smashing. And it gives a cheer if you own your own home. It gives a cheer if you rent. See, up to this point, I'd only ever rented, and I think there are phrases that mean nothing to those of us who rent that the rest of you understand, because my friend the builder said, there is one thing you will need. I said, oh yeah, what's that? He said, you'll need a damp-proof course. And I genuinely said, I haven't got time to go to college. But one of the things the house that I bought did have is a log burner. I've never had a log burner before. I got quite excited by the log burner. Not as excited as my fella did. He went, oh my God, we'll be able to get a toasting fork. We'll be able to toast things. And I thought, he does know I've got a toaster, doesn't he? But he went off to work. I went straight out and bought a toasting fork. I was too excited. I came back in with it. I grabbed a loaf of bread and I thought, I'm just going to sit in front and work my way through. Bloody love toast. Couldn't get it to work. I rang him and I said, I can't get it to work. He said, how can it not work? It's fire and bread. How can it not work? So I told him what I'd been doing. Turns out I should have had the little door open. I might as well have been lying slices of bread on top of my radiator. But when I moved, I had bits and bobs of furniture. Not much, but I had some stuff and I was trying to work out what would best go where. And I said to me fella, God, I wish I had a tape measure. He said, what do you need a tape measure for? I said, I just want to know if that unit will fit in that alcove. He said, well, I'll sort that out for you. I said, have you got a tape measure? He said, no, it's just, I'm good at that sort of thing. I said, what do you mean? He says, just an instinct I've got. And first of all, I thought, rubbish. And then I thought, let's have a look. And I thought, this is quite a manly thing to be able to do. If he can do this, maybe we'll see what else slots wear. So I said, go on, then do it. And this is what he did. It went exactly like this. I said, is that it? You could at least got your cock out and done 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. But I have developed a new hobby. Some of you probably already do this. I've started listening into people's conversations on the bus and the train. It's quite entertaining. And I was listening not long ago to 2 old ladies, and they were talking about what they would do if they were men for a day. And I thought, this is going to be brilliant, because pensioners are, by definition, bonkers. But I went out to lunch with a couple of my friends, and I thought, well, I'll ask them the same question. So my first friend, I said, what would you do if you were a man for a day? Without even thinking, she just went, I'd have a wank. Sounded like she needed to. She sounded awfully tense. But these old ladies, different generation to me and my friends, in their 80s, and one of them just said, Edith, what would you do if you're a man for a day? The other one said, no, in my luck, I'd get a Tuesday. And what can you do on a Tuesday? My second friend, I said, what would you do if you're a man for a day? She just said, I just do everything. And I thought she meant like in a sexual way. And I said, is that what you mean? Like you just do everything? And I said, is that what you mean? She went, no, just all the little jobs round the house. But I've been trying to go on a diet. I'm not really very successful. But I find that whenever I go shopping and I can't get into things, you know, when you try clothes on and you're the size you weren't expecting to be, I just come home and I put on a song, and the song is Big Girls Don't Cry. You know the song? There's a couple of versions of it. Big girls don't cry. Such a load of rubbish, that, isn't it? Big girls don't cry. Yeah, they do. Cry because they're fat, cry because they can't get a boyfriend, and they cry because there's no trifle left. But I was on holiday in Spain last year, and I'm bragging, I know, and outside the hotel was a lovely pool, and I wanted to go in the pool, of course I did, but I'm not overly confident with my figure in a swimming costume, and I was watching the women who were walking in the pool, and these were like tiny, you know, these wafer-thin, tiny women. And I thought, I'm not going to walk in with one of them. If I walk in with one of them, people are going to think I've bloody eaten one. And I wouldn't anyway, because there's no meat on them. So what I decided to do instead is just to walk in with the children, because kids are all really fat these days. If I walk in the same time as a 9-year-old boy who's got bigger tits than me, nobody's looking at me anymore. But like I say, I don't have kids, and most of my friends don't have kids, but I think if you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids would always be childbirth. It's quite a reasonable thing to worry about childbirth. From what I understand, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want a bloody extension. But it's bound to change though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. With a shoehorn.